Okay, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, sir, whenever you're seeing this. Um, Based on the project you gave to us for me to do, I was able to come up with all this. And then, yes, me presenting for the presentation, and then before we go into the demo. First of all, it entails Azure multi-region website deployment. And my name is Gabriel Salifu, and then uh, I'm a student of your course, MSc 400 Cloud Infrastructure, winter semester 2026. Yeah. Before we continue, let's talk about the project overview. And yeah, we have a multi-region deployment where we are going to be talking about website deployed in Canada Central and Spain Central, two web servers in each, and then discussing about two web servers in each region, and then we are going to be talking about um, load balancing. That is the rounding robin distribution within each region. And then the health probes, monitor server availability, then the global routing, which is the more talk about, we're going to be talking about Azure Traffic Manager, performance routing, and then which automatically route users to the nearest health region. And then high availability, we'll talk about failover if one region becomes unavailable. So let's continue. Now, this is the architecture diagram. You give this diagram, although this diagram I took it from the project, and then because the project is all about this diagram, and then go to the next. Yeah, this is the Azure Lab environment. This is my resource group here. I will underline with the red pen, G Salifu, and this is my ODL account. And then this is the content of the resource group. Here we have everything that entails this project in the resource group. And then we'll move to the next. And this is the virtual network. This is virtual network one. This is for Canada Central. And then this is the IP address, and then the subnet. And the purpose of this is to host web server machines, server virtual machine, sorry. And then this is the virtual network for Spain. This is it. This is my username, gsalifu via VNR2. And this is the IP address. And one thing about this is the host Spain region web server. That is the purpose. And then we'll move to the next, which is the client, the virtual network for the client. And then this is the IP address assigned to the virtual network for the client in South Africa. And then to further demonstrate more, this is the subnet configuration. And then here we are, you can see this is the subnet configuration, the IP addresses well configured, and the range. And then we move further. This is for Spain, Spain Central. This is the subnet configuration too. This is the IP address. These are the ranges. And then we go to the next, which is the South Africa, the client VM. This is the subnet configuration. And then these are the ranges between 128, 199, 191. And then before we continue, this is it. The virtual machine deployment, as you can see, they are all running, which means I've done some configurations on them, which I'm going to show you as we talk along. So here we are. This is the web server validation for Canada VM. This is it, and this is the IP address, the public IP address for the VM, and this is the customization setup, just an evidence that I did the VM myself. So this is for web server 2 too, the same thing, the whole customization setup, the public IP address and everything. And then this is for web server validation for Spain. This is the customization setup. This is it. Gabriel Charlie Full Spain Central. This is the web server. And then this is for web server validation for Spain too. This is the IP address on the top, at the top there. And then this is me showing that I did the configuration myself. And then this will move to the regional load balancer. Now, in the load balancer, we have the Canada load balancer and the Spain load balancer. And then I will be dwelling more on that. Um, this is the backend for Canada, backend pool for configuration for Canada on the load balancer. These are the two VMs, Web Server 1 and Web Server 2 in the same region. And then we move to the health probe configuration for Canada load balancer. This is it. And then we move to load balancing rule for Canada. And here we are. This is it. And then the backend pool configuration for Spain. This, as you can see, there are the two VMs there, web server 1, web server 2 being added correctly, and they are running. So here we go. This is the health probe 2 for Canada load balancer. And then this is it. And then we have the load balancing rule for Spain. And this is the old setup. And then we move to the next, which is the global traffic manager performance. Here we can test that we can access the server from any of the region after much configuration using the two after much configuration using the endpoints to add up Spain and Canada. So we can access this with the server on the client VM uh, via the global traffic manager. And then here we go. This is the testing, which I'm going to show you more in the demo. This is it. This is the this is the client VM. You see the public IP address there being well highlighted. And then there we are. And this is for Canada server 1 being accessed on the client VM. And then web server 2 Spain, which is being accessed on the client VM. So let's move to the next. Now, lessons learned. Planning and recovery. Well, initially when I started, I accidentally deleted the resource group and I had to build another one again. This helped me in planning and then recovery. Then technical skills. Well, I gained a lot of experience on VNet, Subnet, Subnet, MS load balancers, health pros, and traffic manager. And then testing and validation. I validated that the IS pages on all web servers are confirmed and the traffic manager performance between Spain and then Canada. Then takeaways, multi-region setup, Canada plus Spain plus South Africa client. That is the whole setup, the multi-region setup. And then we have 5 VMs created and deployed, 2 in Canada, 2 in Spain, and one for the client. Then the IIS, well, the custom pages, the one that shows red, yellow, white, being displayed with my name and the server. And then the regional load balancers being created. We have the Canada load balancer and Spain load balancer. And then we have the probes and the rules, HTTP probe plus the load balancer rules and the traffic manager. We have the performance routing test. Well, challenges first. Review. Like I earlier explained, it was kind of difficult for me when I accidentally deleted my resource group because of I never wanted to waste my credit and all of that. Then had timing. It was kind of a big timing initially when I started doing the whole project. It took me time and all of that. And the routing test. Well, the routing test was kind of a big problem too because it wasn't alternating, and I have to do some configurations of back and forth and all of that before I could get everything right. Then the VM VNet configuration. Well, I had I have issues with the subnet, which I was able to figure out. Then the load balancer, where I had issues with the front end, the probe, the rule, and the setup steps too. Then the IIS setup. This it was a bit slow. The VMs trying to install the IIS web server was slow and all of that. So I don't know whether the fault is from my system or from the Azure. I don't know, but I was able to overcome that. So in conclusion, regional setup, VNet, Subnet, VMs, IS setup, and regional load balancers were successfully configured in Canada and Spain. And lastly, global routing and validation. Traffic manager, performance routing was configured and tested successfully with traffic routed between Canada and Spain. So this is all about my presentation. Thank you. So let's start. Um, this is the demo. So HTTP this Alifu. Oh, here we go. So the traffic manager routes my request to the nearest LV region. So for we to go, we move to the next one. Uh, Client IP South Africa, client VM. So here we are. The same thing No, nothing changed. So here we go. So it routed me to the nearest region based on the performance routing. So it routed me to Spain web server 1. So let's go to Canada round robin. So we are going to be using the browser too. So we're going to type this same IP, public IP. Yes, we're going to type in this HTTP, HTTP, then this guy, and four. Yeah, here we go. So now we have to demonstrate by refreshing 10 times. So we're going to count. So we're going to count. So one, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, and then 10. One more, 11. So same thing we're going to do um, uh, for Spain robin. So round robin. So we're going to do this same thing. The IP for Spain is this guy, 70156. So this is it. Oh, sorry, my bad. Wrong IP. So HTTP, I'm going to clear all these and then type in correct IP address. HTTP, uh, HTTP 70. Yeah, here we go. So we're going to count again 10 times. Refresh. One, two, three, four. Oh, my bad. One. Let's count again. Two, three. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. One more. 11. So here we go. So this works. Let's go. The Spain load balancer distribute traffic between Spain servers using round robin load balancing. So let's go back to the Azure portal for we to conclude the last part of this project. So I go to virtual machines. Might take a little bit of time. While we wait, then we need to stop this guy. But however, before I stop, I need to go to the VM and then shut them down. So I will shut this guy down. Uh, I will shut down. Same thing for the second web server 2 VM. Shut down. Okay, shut down. So I need to shut them down before stopping them to avoid any crisis. So we go to web server 1, then we click stop. Then same thing for our web server 2, Canada web server 2. We have to make sure they are being stopped, and then while we carry out the next demo to show that what we did actually worked. Sometimes you have to go back again, then go back in again, and then uh, hopefully it will work this time. Then go back, then you click uh, stop. So if they are being stopped, one is actually stopped successfully. While we wait for the other one, let's try it up in the client VM to see whether this FQDN works actually. So because of time, we go to our client VM and open a new tab, then HTTP. Here we go. So, well, this is it. It routed me to the nearest to the nearest to the nearest web server, which is Spain, because the two VM web Canada Web Server 1 and 2 are being stopped. So if I impute this gsalifu tm trafficmanager.net, it routes me back to Spain. Even so, therefore, if there's a failover in one of the VMs, it can actually continue from Spain in Europe. So this is how it actually works. So I believe this is the demo, and thank you so much for the opportunity to give me to for you for me to work with you on this project. Thank you. One more thing for me to further demonstrate, because I tried that on the VM, and I need to try to demonstrate that even though the Web Canada Web Server 1 and 2 are being stopped, we can still access other web servers in another region. So I'm going to type in HTTP, sorry, my bad, HTTP, very slow type, gsalifu.net. Oh, here we go. So this is on the browser. So this actually work on the browser too. So it's when there's a failover in Canada Web Server 1 and 2, we can access the other server. We can access the server in another region, which is Spain, either Spain Web Server 1 or Spain Web Server 2. So thank you, and God bless you.